about 90 Day Fiance, the final resort, okay? Because it's been a while. Spoiler alert, Kelly is finally gone. I am so happy that we are no longer beating this dead end relationship into the ground. We also have to talk about Big Ed and why he decided to throw everybody under the bus for no reason. And I'm going to tell you why he did it for no reason in this recap. So stick around for that point. But of course, as usual, we got to kick things off from the very top. Kalani, Asuelu, and her sister Kalani all meet up to do therapy together. And therapy this time is basically a game of Jenga where you pull out pieces in a tower of blocks, and then eventually someone makes the whole tower fall down. So the therapist treating them said that this was just to show them that, like, all it takes is one form of mistrust or one bad action to break the foundation of everything. And so it seemed like all of them really appreciated that messaging, and it changed the way that they viewed that game and whatnot. So that was lovely. And then we also talk about how Asuelu had been cheating on Kalani their entire relationship, meaning he was already doing it in Samoa, and she still decided to bring his ass on over to the United States. I was like, really, girl? Really? Then not only, like, here, I'll give her the pass on the first child because she was already pregnant when she found this out, but then she decided to have a second kid with him. I'm sorry, but sometimes when these girls cry about men repeatedly cheating on them, I'm like, girl, you let him cheat on you. Like, it's your bad too. Like, you got to learn when to walk away. There's a certain level of personal responsibility sometimes. Like, if a man cheats on you once and you take the risk to take him back, knowing that he could do it again because he now knows that you find it acceptable, okay, and break up with him the second time at the very least. But if you keep going after the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, at a certain point, you're cheating on yourself too. Okay, so that's how I felt when she was crying about him cheating throughout that entire relationship. The fact that he's going to get American citizenship off her back after he's been treating her like dog shit, I can't. Like, I would not let that happen. Absolutely not on my watch. He is a terrible, terrible person. And it turns out that he was even buying like nude photos on the internet and everything, just complete and utter trash, knowing that he was married and had kids. Like, just ugh. Now, something that did kind of make me laugh on a lighter note was Michael this episode. So as usual, of course, he is video calling with Angela, and she's trying on some bathing suits this time to wear to the pool. And he's like, no, not this one, not that one. Too skimpy, too tempting. I'm like, oh, Michael, you know damn well. Just let her have fun. She is old enough to be everybody's grandma. Let those things hang loose, okay? So now we get back to Kalani and Asuelu. And so it turns out that Kalani's reasoning for continuing her relationship with Asuelu and letting him come over to America after knowing that he's already cheating, she was like, well, listen, cheating is normal and acceptable in Samoa. Even his own friends who are married have been hitting on me, like, openly, my sister. So I figured if I get him away from this country and these people, he will act right in the United States and be faithful to me. I'm like, girl, have you not heard the like expression, you could take the X out of the Y, but you'll never take the Y out of the Z? You could take the girl out of the country, but you'll never take the country out of the girl. Like, that type of expression. Like, people like that don't just change. If they think it's acceptable behavior, they think it's acceptable behavior, right? You have to have a conversation with him in order to let him know that it's not acceptable to you, or better yet, leave. Show him it's not acceptable to you. She's got me swearing because it's just so foolish. Excuses. And so of course she's crying about how much heartache he has put her through. Then he starts crying, and I'm like, why are you crying? You are annoying me because it's your fault that everything is broken. It's your fault that she's crying. So now why are you sitting here crying harder than she is, and she has to comfort you? I felt like that was super manipulative. Like, don't play victim now. It disgusted me. I did not feel a lick of sadness for him. I had the same reaction Kalani had, which is just STFU Asuelu. Now we're back to Michael and Angela. They seem to be doing really well in this week's episode. They're in a good place. So they're celebrating their 3-year anniversary, and Angela gets all dressed up, all shy in her little red dress, and she has like this braided ponytail. I think it's like a clip-on attachment. And she's like, look, Michael, I put the braids in my hair like the Nigerian girls. And I'm like coughing like the Nigerian girls he cheats with, Because wow, but Angela, she just seems so innocent sometimes. When she was saying that, I'm like, oh, she's so pure. And then the waiter was looking at her and she thought it was like, like he want me kind of thing. So she's like, oh, look, the waiter is looking at me. I'm like, she's just so innocent. Bless her heart. I like her vibe in this like spin off so far. Like she's funny and she's like, she seems to be in a good vibe and everything. So I love that about her. Now, God, I hate that I even have to bring these two up because they have irritated me so much this entire season. I don't like that they're even here. Like it was so obvious from the very beginning that this relationship was not going to work out. It was already dead on arrival, you guys. For whatever reason, Kelly and Molly have to subject us to their couples therapy with no couple, and at least they acknowledged, though, you guys, that like this relationship is dead. There's nothing else that they can do. It's run its course. Like it's time to go their separate ways. So Kelly packs up his bag and packs up his bags and leaves. And I'm like, oh, hallelujah. I'm so happy that like we no longer have to see this, hear this, anything else. Like it's just too much. When something's anyway, look at me running that into the ground. Let's move over to Liz and Ed. Big Ed the snitch. So in last week's episode, the guys talked about how they wanted to go to a skrip club and they had to keep it secret from their ladies. Who I think it was Jovi. Jovi was all innocent and nice and pure. He's like, let's invite Ed. I don't want to exclude anybody. Oh, Jovi, you sweet summer child. Ed is a total snake. Shit disturber. Not me swearing. I'm sorry, you guys. I think that's the second time I swore. I'm sorry. But he's someone who likes to cause trouble. In French, they say c'est quelqu'un qui aime foutre le merde, like just stir shit up, basically. And so I don't know why Jovi decided to involve him in it. All of this could have gone without a hitch if they just kept him out. So he and Liz go on a date at an aquarium, and then he decides to tell her about the skrip club plans. And he's like, oh, and I just want to let you know that they're doing this, and I don't want to do it. I said, guys, why would you do something like that? We are here to work on our relationships, not to lie to our women. So he basically only told her for brownie points. And so to me, I feel like it was just really like nasty to do that to the guys. Like, listen, I don't agree with skrip clubs and whatnot. So like, I don't love that they're even going to do that. But I don't like snakes. Like the way he just threw them under the bus. If you're not going to go, then don't say a damn thing and let the other guys go on their own and deal with the consequences. Because to me, like it would have made sense for him to tell her like as he's leaving or after he comes back and just to explain himself. But like just like this for no reason was just annoying. And it was very like, do you guys remember Randall from Recess, that show that was on ABC Kids? Like it was like that, okay? And so Liz is pissed off. She's like, wow, these guys are shady. Like, are they even here to seriously work on their relationships, or are they just here to like, I don't know, get camera time or just like be on vacation or whatever have you? And so she's like, well, I'm a girl's girl, so I'm gonna have to tell the girls. So obviously now the ladies are gonna know. And it's all because Jovi decided to involve trifling Big Ed into the mix. Kelly warned him. He said, no, don't invite that guy. He is a mess. He's annoying. He's shady. Don't invite him. But Jovi was like, well, I don't want to exclude anybody. Well, you're about to find out, Jovi, that if there's one person you should be excluding in life, it is Big Ed. Anyway, you guys, that does it. A recap of what went down on this week's episode of 90 Day Fiance, The Final Resort. As usual, I'm excited to hear what you have to say about everything, so please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.